Weapons are crucial for police officers, giving them the power to protect and maintain order in dangerous situations. But when those same weapons fall into the wrong hands, everything takes a dark turn.
Officer down! Officer down! Officer down!
In this video, we will dive into the drama that unfolds when a criminal gets hold of a weapon and decides to misuse it.
He's got a rifle. He's got a rifle. Shots fired! Shots fired!
Transforming a simple situation into a nightmare. Stay tuned as we reveal how one act of violence led to chaos and fear. On April 8th, 2023, a seemingly routine traffic stop in Cameron, Wisconsin, took a tragic turn that would rattle the entire community. Officer Emily Breidenbach was on patrol when she noticed a vehicle driven by Glenn Perry, a man known to law enforcement as increasingly volatile and armed. Earlier that day, a warning had been issued by a Barron County Sheriff's captain, alerting officers to Perry's deteriorating mental state, his possession of a firearm, and his growing hostile behavior towards law enforcement, all while having an active warrant for unpaid child support. Aware of the potential danger, Officer Breidenbach opted not to pull him over immediately, but instead requested backup. Shortly after that, 23-year-old Officer Hunter Scheel arrived to lend his support.
He's got a rifle. He's got a rifle. Shots fired! Shots fired! Officer down! Officer down! Officer down!
Body camera footage captured the tragic moment when Officer Hunter Scheel was wounded during the chaotic encounter. His urgent call for backup echoed across the police radio, indicating an immediate need for urgent support.
He's got a gun here. A rifle. He's got a rifle. Shots fired.
A 911 call from a nearby witness came in shortly after.
Barron County 911, where is your emergency?
Hi, I'm actually just sitting here. I ended up pulling over because I saw a dog in the middle of the road, and then all of a sudden I see an officer down and a gentleman on the ground. Looks like he's bleeding on his leg, and a rifle on the ground as well.
Yeah, we got people on the way there, okay? Where exactly are you at?
327, Barron. I'm only copying parts. Is he still on scene?
327, we have two officers down. He is set up with a rifle.
327, I'm disengaging, getting traffic out of here. Get out of here! Go!
Copy.
What's going on?
We have an officer involved shooting. Your officer was involved. We're not sure what the status is right now, but 608 and we know for sure 614 were down.
Well, hey, you need to come out.
I need to come out, huh?
You need to come out. Got
All right, what's up?
officer involved shooting, two officers. There. Double S just south of, they're by the pole factory there, okay?
All right, I'll fight.
Thanks.
Hello?
Hey, we have officer involved shooting. We need you to come out.
Oh, okay.
They're double S just south of Cameron, Glenn Perry. A couple officers, so we need you to come out, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, bye.
In a matter of minutes, all available police units were dispatched to the scene, rushing to secure the vicinity.
We're requesting all detectives, please. Requesting all detectives.
Okay. Yeah. Come on, we got it. Here.
Go, he's down, let's go.
Ready?
Are you good?
Okay. We're approaching.
Gun is right next to the right hand.
Yeah, we see it. All right, it's on his left. I got. Move the gun. I got lethal. Yep. I got lethal. Cover me. I got guns. I got lethal. Get this rifle. Yep. I got lethal. You got that? Yep. Okay, roll them. With you? Yep. What did you grab next to? Yes.
We got 2 officers down. We got 195. The bad guy's also shot.
Are you guys good? Stay both in the car. Hold on. Clear. Clear. I got it.
No. Back's clear.
Front's clear. Front's clear. Got another rifle up front. Send EMS out.
When officers arrived at the scene, they discovered Glenn Perry bleeding from a single gunshot wound to his leg, with the AR-15 rifle he had used to kill the officers lying next to him. Tragically, Perry later succumbed to his injuries. A subsequent search of his residence uncovered 8 additional firearms, a significant stockpile of ammunition, and disturbing writings outlining plans for targeted attacks on specific individuals. Officers Breidenbach and Scheel likely prevented a greater tragedy that day, as Perry, armed and dangerous, stood for a full minute after the shooting, his premeditated actions posing a serious threat to other officers and civilians nearby. The district attorney described Perry as the epitome of evil. Surveillance footage from a nearby business captured Perry immediately opening fire after being pulled over. 3D animations later revealed the trajectory of the 10 bullets that struck Officer Breidenbach's squad car. Had Perry not been intercepted that day, more first responders or even passing motorists would likely have been in grave danger.
That 50-year-old Glenn Perry had been civilly committed back in 2011. When that expired, his legal right to own firearms had been reinstated. But the day before he murdered 2 officers, a warning had gone out that his mental health had again declined. He'd made statements against law enforcement, saying even that the Creator, he said, had given him authority to defend himself at all costs.
As law enforcement officers from near and far gathered to mourn their fallen brother and sister.
It's devastated. Emily was a friend of mine. It's been a rough week for all of us.
And even many who had never met these officers are still grieving. Their hearts heavy, their souls weary.
You didn't know them, so what made you still want to come out here and support them today?
The uniform they wore. They protect me and everybody else.
I am calling to see if we can have a couple of your officers do a death notification for one of our officers. But they just specified death notification for their daughter Emily. Oh, ouch, Lord.
The district attorney's report highlighted that the courage and selflessness of officers Breidenbach and Scheel averted further tragedy. The last case was disturbing, but the following one is downright chilling. On the morning of August 26, 2022, Washington County officers arrested a man near a Highway 36 overpass. The man was found lying in the grass in possession of a blood-stained piece of paper and an EBT card belonging to Shanna Daniels.
We'll talk in a second. You're under arrest. Don't move.
Who was this man, and what connection did he have to the EBT card belonging to a woman who had been discovered stabbed and burned in her apartment just hours before? The victim, 43-year-old Shanna Daniels, was found in a horrific state in her bedroom around 6:30 p.m. on August 25th. Firefighters responded to an emergency at an apartment building on the 2200 block of South Avenue East in North St. Paul after reports of a fire. Thick black smoke billowed from apartment 8 as officers and fire crews attempted to enter, hearing someone inside desperately calling for help.
Where's our guys at?
Alright, what do we got? Where do you guys want us? Hey, what floor? Second floor? We need people out in the bottom?
Just hang tight.
Okay. Rush!
I say just get officers out.
They could hear a voice crying out in distress, but the heat and smoke were so overwhelming that the officers couldn't risk advancing any closer.
Did you guys hear anybody yelling?
Yeah, they said they heard.
They said she's
They
up
said
there,
they heard
but
him yelling.
I'm yelling.
Up here?
Yeah.
That one. I don't hear anything. I
They
tried
said they
running
heard
up
him
there.
yelling, and he was
You
saying,
couldn't get in?
Oh, you can't see.
You can't get up there. It's dead black.
Yeah,
But somebody's still in
They
there?
said that
they said someone's in there, but yeah, it's thick black. Can't
you
see.
can't see.
We got somebody hitting the window, 3rd floor.
Tell him. Tell him.
Someone's inside. Someone hit the window.
I mean,
Top corner.
On the south side of the building. Does that fire know we got someone pounding on a window on the 3rd floor? Top right corner.
The rest of the building was cleared out, and by the time the firefighters managed to bring the flames under control, the woman in apartment 8 had ceased to respond. When officers finally gained access, they discovered her charred body in the bedroom. Initial investigations indicated that this incident was more than a mere fire. It was instead a cover-up for a horrific crime. Several witnesses reported seeing an unknown man in the victim's apartment window as the fire began.
So there's a male and a female.
Should be, yeah.
There should be a male and a female up there.
Witnesses reported that the victim was with her boyfriend on the day of the fire, and they were overheard having an argument in the apartment the night before. Shanna, a breast cancer survivor, was still in recovery from her diagnosis in April 2020, which had involved chemotherapy and a double mastectomy. Her boyfriend, Melvin Bilbro Junior, aged 41 at the time, had arrived at Shanna Daniels' apartment just 15 minutes before the police showed up. At that time, Bilbro was a 4-time convicted felon on supervised release after serving time for failing to register as a predatory offender. He had been released from prison only 5 months prior to the incident. His criminal history in Minnesota included attempted second-degree murder of a former girlfriend, as well as second-degree criminal sexual conduct involving her 12-year-old daughter in 2008, and third-degree assault against another girlfriend in 2019. The police secured a search warrant for both Shanna and her boyfriend's apartment, uncovering crucial evidence such as a blood-stained pack of Newport cigarettes, blood on the walls, scissors, and a blood-covered broken knife. Additional evidence was also discovered in Bilbro's apartment. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence against Bilbro was a dog that was found covered in soot and reeking of smoke. This dog, discovered in his apartment, belonged to Shanna. It soon became evident that this was more than just a tragic fire. It was a murder scene. Autopsy results indicated that Shanna's death was not due to an accidental fire, but rather homicide, as she had suffered multiple sharp force injuries to her head and neck, including a perforation in her left eye and a fractured nasal bone. Police interviewed a witness who had contacted Bilbro to inform him about the fire. Bilbro claimed he was with Shanna when her ex-boyfriend arrived, prompting him to leave. However, when officers searched his apartment, he was nowhere to be found. The following day, Bilbro was discovered hiding in the grass near a trail and was arrested immediately. He was in possession of a blood-stained piece of paper and Shanna's EBT credit card.
We'll talk in a second. You're under arrest. Don't move.
You guys want us cuffed or you guys cuffing?
Yeah, you want to grab him over there?
Yep.
My left?
Go ahead.
Yep.
What's your name?
Sorry? Melvin? Go ahead, Melvin. Is this yours? All right.
Following his arrest, Bilbro consented to talk with investigators regarding the deadly fire and the tragic death of his girlfriend just hours before.
So I wanted to clear up a few things with my partners. I'd like to keep talking with you here if that's okay. All right. So, like I mentioned before, I guess I'd like to talk about you being under the bridge a little bit. And how'd you end up there?
I was just there, man. Seriously, I got nervous as hell because all I know was moving on the left left side of me, and the one on the right side of me. So I was just sitting in the middle so I can watch both sides. I don't know what it was, but I just wanted to move when I felt a little comfortable. Because I told you I smoked some weed, I was really high, and that's that.
Okay. You're quite a long ways away from North St. Paul, I guess, under that bridge.
I think the first time
It's a pretty decent walk, I think. And it was like a 10-minute drive for us.
I usually jog.
So you're in that whole way?
No. I usually, when I'm working out, I jog.
Okay.
So I've been further than that.
How long were you on the trail for?
I have no idea. I just pace. I don't count time. I don't even count steps.
What time did you leave the apartment, your apartment?
I don't even remember. Because I went right across the street, and that's why I ran into Jay and he started smoking weed.
How come you didn't stay at the apartment when people were telling you that?
Because I called. I'm the one who called. I was making phone calls. So I let them like, look, what's going on? Went back upstairs. I went to the store. I came right back, but I was in the area.
You went to the store?
Yeah.
What store?
Holiday.
Holiday? Did you buy anything there?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes? Okay. And where'd you go after Holiday?
Right back around the area.
What do you mean? What area?
Where on the street from my house. Well, I was coming right back down here, so I'm like, wanting to go around. Everybody thought I went in the building and started taking people. I'm like, no.
So how come you weren't hanging out when the fire department and police department were out? Because everybody else was. I mean, pretty much everybody that lives there was there.
I don't hardly be at home. I'm usually at work this time.
Yeah, I understand that. I guess the kind of question that I'm struggling with is that you've got a friend, right? Probably a pretty good friend, it sounds like, that you have some sort of relationship with. And you realize that her apartment's on fire, and then you just leave.
Well, like I said, it's happened before. So I'm thinking that's what it was. She cooked a couple pieces in the damn oven, and they just caught fire in here. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And you didn't think to go check on her?
Well,
people are telling you that there's a fire inside her apartment? I'm guessing there's probably flames shooting out the windows.
I was there for a brief, you know what I'm saying, but I don't want to.
You were there for a brief?
No, I was outside when they came and banged on my door.
So why'd you act surprised when we asked you or told you that there's a fire there?
I wasn't that surprised at all.
I'm really struggling with why you wouldn't stay. I mean, I think the average person, a reasonable person, would have stayed in that situation. If their friend, their close friend, their apartment was on fire and probably something could have happened to them, you'd stay around because you're concerned, right? And you want to be with your other friends and help them deal with it and vice versa. Okay, so I'm struggling with why you chose to leave.
Honestly, I wanted to smoke. So that's why I left. I was going to go smoke and just sit back and see what happens. Because, I can't do nothing, about it. I'm going to be in the way.
Okay. Then we ended up finding you and arresting you, and you had that piece of paper that we talked about in your pocket.
Right.
With whose blood is that?
That's mine.
That's yours?
I'm sure.
Where's your cut at that that came from?
Right here. Told you I work with a corrugator at work.
Show me where the cut is.
Right here.
On your knuckle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I work with the corrugator, if you're ever familiar with that.
So that's what, there's a fair amount of on that piece of paper. So when we test the DNA on it, it's going to be yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So I want to go back and let's just forget about I know you said that nobody saw you in the window. I understand that. We want to forget about that, okay? That's really not super important here, to be honest with you. We've got this other evidence that we already discussed, okay? And this other evidence is evidence. And like we talked about already, blood is going to show belonging to a specific individual. And that's going to be her. The problem that we have is that you have her on clothing in your apartment with her dog that's going to have soot on it. and we're going to test that. And we've got this woman in her apartment. You see how that's a problem?
Bilbro altered his account multiple times, initially claiming he was merely friends with Shanna, then later asserting they had a sexual relationship. He stated he was at his apartment when the fire broke out and stepped outside for a smoke. At one point, he mentioned he last saw Shanna on August 23rd, only to change that date to August 25th, all while insisting on his innocence. Investigators had gathered several crucial pieces of evidence against Bill, which were set to be presented in court soon.
Melvin? Go ahead, Melvin. Is yours? All right.
Shanna was raised in North Minneapolis and is fondly remembered by her friends and family, not just for her brave fight against breast cancer, but also for her vibrant personality, her passion for animals, and her indomitable spirit. Her family expressed their gratitude, stating that even though her life was cut short unexpectedly, they felt blessed to have experienced her beautiful presence. In January 2024, Bilbro chose to waive his right to a jury trial, opting instead for a bench trial where the judge would determine his guilt. Ramsey County Judge David Brown carefully examined all the evidence and arguments presented by both parties. In an extensive 84-page ruling, he concluded that prosecutors had established a clear pattern of ongoing domestic abuse and had proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Bilbro was responsible for Shanna's death, the fire at the apartment, and his subsequent flight from the scene. On February 2, 2024, Judge Brown convicted Bilbro of first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and first-degree arson. He was sentenced to life imprisonment and is currently held in Stillwater without the possibility of parole.